we were lied to. Hi Didi family, Connie here, and in honor of our 4th birthday, Charity and I thought it would be best for us to record a short little video highlighting the lessons we have learned thus far while running a lingerie business in the Kenyan context and in the African context.
I think one of the first things that Connie and I agree that we learned is that it's really important that as a business, you decide on what your values are and what you stand for and what you want your message to be right at the beginning of your business. And even it helps to write it down just so you know who you are as a business and what you stand for. Because there are many times later on that you're faced with decisions that you have to make, and many times it feels like you have to make them there and then. And sometimes you just need to take a step back and ask yourself, does this align with the values of what we believe in as a business? And many times, at least in our experience, we found that it's not always the case. And that's helped us stop ourselves from making really bad decisions that would impact our business and our messaging really negatively. So always go back to who are you as a business? What values, what do you care about? And why did you start the business?
I would also say that you must learn how to run your own race. Don't get sidetracked by what your competitors are doing in the marketplace. It's important for you to have your finger on the pulse on what they're doing, but not necessarily implementing strategies that are in response to necessarily what they're doing, so that it becomes this whole cat and mouse type of game. They are not Tom and you're not Jerry.
You need to protect yourself legally at all stages of your business journey. For us, it felt so frivolous to be spending the little money that we had at the beginning on lawyers and drawing up contracts, because we were working with so many of our friends and family at the time. We didn't really feel like we should do that. But honestly, you just need to remember, business is business, friends and family and relationships are those, but when the two mix, then there needs to be it still needs to have legal paperwork behind it, and make sure everybody signs, that everyone is agreed on the terms of each contract and that they sign and that all of that is documented. Because unfortunately, in as much as you believe in your friendships and even family relationships or other types of relationships, it does sometimes happen that you will need to go back to those legal papers and sort of call someone out for not fulfilling the terms of your contract, or think about shareholding and all those things. Just always make sure that you protect yourself legally and don't skimp on those things with models, with influencers. Just always, photographers, website builders, always have a contract with everybody.
Have proper systems and structures in place. Now, as a small business, you might think that it's really expensive to invest a lot of money, because sometimes CRM systems or POS systems are always in the hundreds of thousands of shillings type of range. We would advise you to just start like we did, which was on Google Drive. Everybody had access to that information in the team, and we were able to at least track our stuff using the Excel sheets, the Word documents, etc. But as we grew, we had to also improve our systems. So the more money you make, at least in the industry or whatever industry you're running in, then you can invest in higher grade systems that can at least enable you to manage the things that you're looking to manage in your business.
In similar lines to the two things we've talked about before, is don't be afraid to make tough choices, especially when something just doesn't feel right in your gut. There are many times when we had spent so much time, effort, money, sleepless nights, resources, talked to so many people trying to work on a certain project or put a part of an idea together, but it just wasn't working. And because we are people who don't quit, we want to keep pushing ourselves. We would keep pushing forward, and eventually we would stop ourselves because you can always tell when something is going to be a flop sometimes. But we knew we should have stopped ourselves like months before that.
Understand every nook and cranny of your business's operations. And I remember in 2016 when we started our business, I was the one at the store running the sales, understanding what styles are popular, what bra sizes are, what we could do to improve the customer experience at the shop, whether they were ordering online. I was the one thinking about that at the very beginning, so that when it came to a point of delegation, at least nobody could come and cheat Charity and I while we were running our business. Like, we knew what we were doing, and we have learned hard lessons. I remember before we opened the business, that was around 2014, when we needed to get like our brand, like the inception of our brand, like the name, the logos, everything, the branding materials. And let me tell you guys, we were lied to. Somebody charged us 100,000 and we thought, yo, we've done our due diligence, this is a good deal, let's go ahead and do it. Only for us to be surprised by the content that we received. It was rough. And eventually we ended up like doing more research and terminating that contract. That was our first hard decision to make when we started our business. That was in 2014. And this person, we had to terminate the contract and then got another person who did the same thing that this other guy was doing, but for 20,000 shillings. Like, look at that saving. And we'd already lost some money with the other guy because he required a 70% upfront payment. Can you imagine? Anyway, this is just part of the journey and the things that you have to learn. So I would repeat and really emphasize that you must understand the way your business operates from the start to the finish as a business owner, so that nothing will surprise you.